In this video, we're going to talk about adjusting to your new life with Invisalign. The first question that comes up is, well, how many hours a day do I need to wear my Invisalign? And the answer is 18 plus. That means you have 6 hours a day off to eat, to brush, to floss, have your morning coffee for an hour. We just ask you to rinse it off and put those Invisalign back in for most efficient tooth movements. During the first week, you might notice some people will say they have a speech difference, and that's because your tongue is normally used to running on the inside of your teeth. But now, as small as Invisalign is, there's that little thickness of the plastic, and that little difference causes speech. After a week or so, your tongue get used to it, and that speech difference will go away. The other thing that sometimes happens is during the manufacturing of the Invisalign, on the lower, where the tongue resides, is every fifth tray or so might be a little rough. And if that's rough, the tongue will rub on there. And if you don't do anything about it, 3 or 4 days, the tongue gets kind of beat up or cut and gets used to it. Alternatively, we've given you a little nail file. You can go in there and polish it up, zip, zip, zip. Then your tongue never has to take the beating of that. The other adjustment that occurs is your teeth some of them will have little bumps on the outside, what we call attachments or handlebars. That's to allow us to get our tooth movements to occur. But some people will say, boy, they're really rough. And the idea is we can polish them in the office, or alternatively, if you're wearing your Invisalign, you won't notice it because it acts as a buffer to that. The other thing to note is, hey, when am I supposed to switch to your next ones? Well, that's kind of dictated by this image here. What you're going to notice is what this is showing you is uniform thickness of your Invisalign over the top edges of your teeth. What you don't want to see is over here, where there's a big gap between the Invisalign and the plastic. Now, this is a bad example because it shows all of them, but usually it's only going to be one tooth. And in that case, if you see a gap between the tooth and the Invisalign, what you're going to do is, if you've been switching every 7 days, you might go 10 or 14, but it's really important they fit before you go to the next one. To improve the fit, we've included this little latex tubing. What that is we call it a chewy. What happens is you'll have your Invisalign in, top and bottom, and then you mash it together. You go chomp, chomp, chomp. And what that does is that allows the Invisalign to fit properly. If they're fully fitting, we're good to go. One of the things I want to bring up though is your bags are numbered. In this example, it's 22. The reason that's important is, let's say you come into our office and you're wearing number 23, but it doesn't quite fit right. Then I'll say, hey, bounce back to number 22 and send me a picture so we can see if it fits properly. And the easiest way for you to know which number they are is to keep your other ones back in the bags. I will also say when you're done wearing them and put in the bag, to throw it in your freezer. And the reason for that is nothing grows in the freezer. Now, at some point, they're going to accumulate so much, and you'll ask me, and you'll be on, say, number 20, and say, can you throw 10 and under away? By all means, do that. But let us help you out with that decision process. And last but not least, we got a little saying in the office, a little crude, but it helps reminder that these things are really clear. They're small, they're easy to lose. So if they're not in your face, they're in your case.